We were in a youth group in Bulanga called CDA, Community Development Alliance, where they brought this circular that they need some youth groups to participate in a mining program organized by CEPIL.
There we received letters and we were asked to go to Tamale for the first program.
I got to know of CEPIL because of the interest I have in preserving our land and our landscape. And land being a #1 resource for farming, I have interest in it. So that's why I was part of CEPIL training.
There happened to be a team in search for people who matter. So I was contacted by a TAMSI group, that is a talency initiative for miners. So I was contacted, and that there was a training, since I was somebody who matter from Bane, and being a parliamentary candidate before, they saw in me that if I get the material of being a paralegal, I'll be able to assist in solving some of the numerous issues that is more in my community.
We had a group on a platform, a WhatsApp platform that we created. So we're discussing about some of the issues at the Galamsey and then the mining areas. So it was through that platform that Mr. Sapak asked me to join a different platform so that at least we'll come together and see what we can do for Talisi land.
As a result of our agitations here and there, Tama Foundation came in, and as a result, they linked us with CEPIL. So we're there that they call to inform us that the way we are handling issues, that got us into legal battles. So if we are able to be, if we are given legal training, we'll be able to conduct ourselves in order to avoid these court cases.
CEPIL's paralegal training has been beneficial to me because before I became part of the training, I did not know about our mining regulations, the processes that are involved for a mining company or mining firm to start operation. All those ones were things that I did not know. But in the training, I was made to know about the regulations, the mining laws, the processes that a mining firm is supposed to pass through before he comes into the community. Through the CEPIL paralegal training, we were equipped with this knowledge and experience.
To me as an individual, the training from CEPIL opened my eyes to certain provisions of the law that I wasn't aware of. For instance, the first module of the training talked about mining licenses, the various stages, the reconnaissance, the exploration, and then the mining license itself. So it actually opened my eyes to a number of things that we could advocate for. And as we compared with what we are seeing on the grounds, we saw clearly how the mining companies were shortchanging my community. As an individual, it equipped me to be able to do the right thing when I'm aggrieved or I'm not happy with something. And for my community, new life was breathed into us because now we had concretely something we could base our arguments, our advocacy, and our demands on.
The training is like learning and then equip yourself in terms of paralegals, the basic laws of the land. We were trained how to defend our communities and then how to lead them to the righteous way of fighting for themselves in terms of the outsiders come and do anything anyhow in the community or our vegetation area or covered area. I can voice out that what I went there and learned is enough for me, because most of the things I didn't know about it. I was not enlightened, but now I'm very happy with what I've taken from them. In terms of the legal processes, I was very happy.
There are a lot of benefits and experience we gain as participants from CEPIL training on mining issues and human rights activities. Personally, we're already in the booth. Our rights were already being infringed upon. But after attending the CEPIL training, we were enlightened about our rights, mining and mining laws, and acquisition of land and conflict dispute resolutions were all taught there.
Through the training, we are made to understand that it's not everything that you must take it through litigation. So the aspect of ADR is also something that has really impacted my life personally, because even in your family, sometimes you need an alternative way of resolving issues.
In the course of the training, they put that into groups. We demonstrated, and then they counsel us. So we had it there. So when we came here, if you see a friend going there or a brother, you put it to him. So when they go, it doesn't come to them as a strange.
They give us a book, a document book. That's a paralegal book. We go through. Normally, when you have a case and it's like if it vanishes from your mind, you can have a look at it and then you take it training, and they give us a legal advices as a paralegal. You should have a legal advice whereby when you sit, it's not about speaking anyhow to somebody, try to educate a person. You should know how to talk to educate a person. And then they taught us how to do public education in terms of the paralegal training. I can agree with negotiation. Negotiation tian the castle ibe turn la casatia. We are negotiation near be mabalia ku hong avolwe awodomong and put and podom ba wa. Mpan win lori e win wodo le nablele. Utatar casa kamule because casa can mass to or kana. The public education is about when people are gathered. Sometimes like this camp, there's a lot of camps in the community. You can walk and sit there, try to talk to them. I was having an app inside my phone where I normally use perspective symbols. Sometimes you show it to people here, I do it here, and then we'll sit and I will be asking them this picture, when you see what is this? This person will give me this person also give you this different answer. So I always tell them that this is how conflicts normally comes. So it's always with different minds. What you think is right is the way the other person also thinks is right. That one always brings conflicts. So I will be educating them those things.
The main source of conflict here is land. It's land issues, because most of the lands are not irrigable. So there are only few lands that the farmers are using to cultivate, to feed their families. They are competing with the small-scale miners or the galamsees or the large-scale miners, the big firms. We largely depend on the land. So land is a factor that can brew conflict. Apart from land, to food security is also another issue, because if there's no food, actually there can be conflict, because I think everyone has to be well fed, to be food sufficient, and so if you lose your land, definitely it means that you would also lose food. You will not be able to feed your family, and so it can bring about all those kind of conflicts.
The main sources of tension is from the youth, it's from the small-scale miners, and it's also from the mining company, because they know if we are united, they will not be able to achieve their purpose. Like their corporate social responsibilities, they will pay huge. So they have been able to buy some of our brothers, and then when we want to talk, we even want to mobilize them, it's an issue. We also have our chiefs. Our chiefs are thinking that we want to usurp their authority. But the Tandanas, they are with us. So the main sources of our problem is from the indigenes who are from the area. And the mining company too.
On the matter of conflicts, because my community is a mining community, the issues border about land, because every piece of land is being contested because of the riches. You see, so whether the farmlands or the homelands or what have you, so more borders on lands. And what we do is that normally when there are issues of land disputes, we try to get the client heads, okay, to see how that, and I've done about 3 of them since we completed the training. I've done about 3 of them. One was about zone yield, one was about patral yield, and one was also about something. So this was a story where a piece of land which was left for the family, that the elder brother and then the younger brother were fighting over as to who owns which side, the richest portion, the slopey portion. So this came to light, and that the younger one was rather demanding for an area that is good. Meanwhile, in our custom, it is the first son or the first person who is supposed to choose before. All right. If it is shared by the younger one, the first will take. If it's shared by the elder one, then the younger will take. But here is the case that the younger one shared and he wanted to take same. But we resolve it and they understood themselves.
I've learned a lot from CEPIL training. The way I was at my beginning, my lifestyle, it has changed now. Because at first, I was hearing of court law, but I never knew what law means and what court means, of this logo. But through CEPIL training, I was able to impact my brain into certain things that I'm not supposed to, or I always see something that I'm supposed to do this, and somebody is trying to violate my rights. Fonsi, in particular, is having conflict in chieftaincy issues. So we always sit with the boys sometimes, try to talk to them about the disadvantages of conflicts and all those things. And frankly speaking, after CEPIL training, I've never witnessed that kind of confusion again in the community because of sometimes how we sit with the youth. Normally, anything that will cause it will come from the youth, but we sit to educate them about conflicts, how disadvantage it is to the community and the health of the people, and how it will not bring development to the community.
The benefit that I derive from this training is great in the sense that I earlier on said we were just saying things without knowing the consequences. But when CEPIL came, after this training, I was able to understand issues like perception. Perception, the way I look at things, others will also look at in a different perspective. So after that training, yes, this idea I understood it very well. And the way we handle things is no more. Another thing that I also gained from this training is that one guy got amputated. So we were able to link him up. We gave him advices, and then the company was not paying his medical bills, even though they sent him to hospital. They said he should be paying. When it gets to a stage, then they will come and pay. But when we went, we gave him advice. And immediately we gave him advice, and we came and published it. The company ran and paid his hospital bills and even increased his salary.
In fact, I'm so enlightened that even I can tell you that I've been writing writs for people who don't have lawyers, and they go to magistrate courts to maybe get it. So far, I've learned about 3 people who have won cases in the magistrate court, one in Navrongo, one in Bolga, and then one in Zebila. And so, in fact, it has enlightened me. At a point, even judge had to call this a pocket lawyer. And had it not been the training of CEPIL, then all this interest would have died. Because initially, I just didn't have the confidence in even leading people to police or to the court. But at times I reflect and then read some of the handbooks that they give us, and then it tells me that this one, the person has a case. So despite all the intimidations and the monies being thrown out, the law can work.
My community, let's say, when we came back, we organized a 7-member committee to sensitize them on some of the mining laws. So we call them the watchdogs, mining watchdogs, so that if there are issues, even though my own community, what we have is gravel, so they come to pick gravel, so that at least they will be there to speak or to tell the company that comes to pick the gravel for any other thing.
CEPIL have done a great job, and it has made a great impact on me and the community as well. For the first time, I did not attend CEPIL workshops. There were a lot of issues that were hindering in my mind, but for now, I am enlightened, and we are able to also enlighten the community about what is going on.
Before we attend CEPIL, our education level in the community here was very poor. Attendance to students, especially girl child education, it was very poor. And the teachers too were very poor in terms of teaching. And when you come actually for the mining sector, we have a mining community here which is away from it's a village near here. But that one, we doesn't gain anything from the mining community there. And the community itself is not even developing. That means they don't have mines or knowledge about mining, what they're supposed to do or what will do and benefit them out from the mining company.
Initially, when these people came, like the Azuma mining, they came to our area, they would just come to the chief palace and say that just tomorrow we are organizing the meeting. When they organize a meeting, they only talk. Nobody's have a say there. They talk and then left.
Some landlords were having farm issues with other peoples and Fulani peoples, like cattle dealers, those who were owners of cattle, they go and destroy farms. And there was no way to go. When you talk, they'll even beat you up. The Fulani peoples were empowered by their owners. When a poor man have a farm, their cattle will go and spoil the farm.
Before the training, there were some instances that we have people who didn't know about compensations and then how to do engagement with the mining companies. And apart from that, some of the licenses they need to have. So as they come into their communities to start the mining processes, they will only meet with few in the community. They will not involve, just say the whole community, a few. And with that few, the moment money comes in and in between, the rest are privileged. They wouldn't know what is happening. So you realize that they've started mining. There's a mining company in your community. They are there digging pits. They are taking gold, but you don't know what is really happening.
You had lands confiscated without proper compensation. You had people encroaching on concessions and all that. And about child labor issue, you had a number of children leaving school and going to the mining site to engage in any of their activities. And that is what prompted the coming into being my organization. We started as concerned citizens of Talensi. There have also been a number of deaths, indiscriminate killings, I will put it, an indiscriminate disposal of mining chemicals and toxic chemicals and things like that. I think some of their activities cost the community a lot. For instance, in 2019, they blasted without proper processes and procedures, and that resulted in the death of 16 young people. In 2021, the same mining company is constructing a road for their heavy-duty vehicles to pass, cut through some water bodies and did not provide proper gutters and proper culverts. A heavy downpour through that normally uses that route was diverted into some small-scale miners' pit, and we lost 10 people that very day. So these are some of the issues my community was facing before the CEPIL training.
At first, we women, we used to have a lot of issues on human violation, child abuse, and the rest. But for now, we are able to solve it through CEPIL intervention. Any issue concerning child abuse, human rights violation, we intervene, and we made a community to understand certain issues they were not aware of. Teenage pregnancy was a very big problem in our community, but we have made them to understand that if you impregnate a school child, you will be sanctioned. It's not like relationship issues where you go to father or mother, oh, you are my this, you are my that, and the problem will be solved there. We are not going to agree on that. We made bylaws in the community to let everybody understand if you violate a law, you are going to account for it.
A lot of things were just going wayward. But when we attended the training, they educated us on how mining is being done and how we should contact our procedures to go through before mining people can involve us in our community. And then Environmental Protection Agency side, then on human rights side.
You know, some people used to fight against land issues that have mine on them. But we made them understand that if you own a land, it's your legitimate right for them to compensate you. Or you have a settlement and there is a gold or mine on that piece of land you are settled on. They have to make you a resettlement and still give you compensation. But for the first time, the other time, we were not able to. We were not having that knowledge. They will just drive you away, no home, nowhere. But for now, they have their rights. If you are coming to use their land or their settlement for mining, they are rules and regulations you must follow, or else the law will go against you. So we made the community to be aware of all these things through CEPIL meetings or trainings.
We are currently organizing the 2019 mine blast victims' parents or relatives to be able to take the matter up to seek compensation for their loved ones whom they lost. So that is one process. It hasn't ended yet. There was also an incident in Nabdam where one of the large-scale mining companies in Talensi were exploring. So with the knowledge we acquired from CEPIL training, we were able to engage with the community and give them the information. For instance, the processes leading to a mining license. We had a meeting with the Zanlergo community and then educated them on all that they were supposed to do. And honestly, successfully, as they went about implementing some of these things that we shared with them, today, as we speak now, Cardinals is no longer exploring for gold in Nabdam because they entered wrongly. And the processes they were supposed to pass through to do proper community entry and do all that, they didn't follow them. So when we equipped the community with that knowledge and they took it up with the company, they saw that they are in the wrong. So they have gone back to prepare and come back properly again.
The company Muko abawa choko cooperate gilensen obakar right Ghana mratu wasu okoda belu bo hono avole ana jole we before oguturu lenglo emratu Ghana tian do su ko da first nal asla asia ya no ntina asia aware ya minister office tian na osomo amalenko wen so winsu ko assemble wa ko assemble company nga ko DC abe assemble ma in terms of conflict resolutions in the community. It was ongoing about almost 23 years now. Every year it used to be conflict, every year. When we started educating the people about conflict issues, up to now, we didn't hear anything, going to 2 years now, today. So I have seen it through that we have benefited from CEPIL training. We use mediation. Mediation is when I'm a third party to the people to solve a problem to them. And there was a confusion between the youth and then certain things from Assembly. So when we came, we were able to educate the youth about it. That's why I told you that I normally forward some issues to the platform and then the whole youth will be chatting. So now it's like the whole place now becoming calm to the community. There's a peace in the community now.
There is this story of people dying in the Chinese pit. And normally, they don't make complaint. Somebody got injured, the arm was chopped off. And so we had to report. And what we did was that we realized that the police were compromised. So what we needed to do was to use the media. So we publish. I have a friend who is a media guy. So I wrote the whole story and gave it to him. So he published it. And then they had to run quickly to his aid. So they paid the hospital bills. They have taken over his care. And I think that is very good. And so when I see the guy, even though he has lost the arm, but he would have been miserable if some of us had not come through.
Immediately after the training, my senior brother and the son had a problem in the house. And the son beat him. So he immediately called me that I should come along with police. I said, okay, I'm coming. And I didn't go with the police. I went to the house. When he narrated his version, I was able to patiently listen to him, listen to his father, and his son. At first, I wouldn't have even had time to listen, but I listened to both of them. When they finished, I was able to handle the case, and there's peace in the house.
We're having some issues small about this illegal mining. It wasn't that illegal as such, but when they cite a gold within some place where, when I talk of the settlement, at first it was like a big problem within the man in the community. The youth will go there, other people will go there, and the man was protesting. Now with this, we sat the people down. We told them that they have to pay the man compensation. You can't just drive somebody's with the family away and take over the landlord. So they've agreed. They decided to build a house, compound house for the man. But now they are aware that when you find gold in any place, you have to first consult the owner of that place. It was through CEPIL training that we enlightened them to also understand that this is the procedures one can follow before you take over somebody's place for mining. You can see that there are a lot of shell nuts here where women use for their incomes. But when the illegal miners come, they cut down our trees, they drag away all our rocks that give us tourist attraction.
You can see it's a very rich, nice environment. If things are not put well, and these miners are able to discover a sample of that from this place, they will destroy it.
We have farmers, and the green land protect us, even sunshine and the rest. But when they come, they clear the whole of the place, and then it will be bare. Our animals cannot feed healthy food on the grasses, and so we are putting bylaws. We are not going to allow any illegal mining in Bulenga community. We are protecting our vegetation in Bulenga community by enforcing bylaws in the community. So the chiefs and elders and the landlords of Bulenga community and Wa East, they are now aware that illegal mining is not accepted in Bulenga or Wa East community.